Pranam. Pranam.
My lord, may I be permitted to declare the inaugural function as open?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I thank you, my lord. The function is declared as open. Namaskar and a very good morning to all. This is one more endeavor of our Honorable the Chief Justice and Honorable Companion Judges of this High Court to reach out to the people awaiting justice and to make the process of litigation citizen-centric. Establishment of 13 more courts in the state is one step closer in reaching out to the people in justice delivery system, which will immensely benefit the common and marginalized people of the state. These 13 new courts are Second Additional Senior Civil Judge Puri in the Joseph of Puri, Senior Civil Judge Kantamal in the Joseph of Bodh, Senior Civil Judge Purushothampur in the Joseph of Ganjam, Senior Civil Judge Jaipatna in the Joseph of Kalahandi, Senior Civil Judge G. Udagiri in the Joseph of Kandamar, Senior Civil Judge Women's Court Bodh in the Joseph of Bodh, Senior Civil Judge Women's Court Angul in the Joseph of Angul, Senior Civil Judge Women's Court at Jharsuguda in the Joseph of Jharsuguda, Senior Civil Judge Women's Court Sundargarh in the Joseph of Sundargarh, Senior Civil Judge Women's Court Malkangiri in the Joseph of Malkangiri, Senior Civil Judge Women's Court Nabrangpur in the Joseph of Nabrangpur, Senior Civil Judge LR and LTB Balasore in the Joseph of Balasore, Senior Civil Judge LR and LTB Bargod in the Joseph of Bargod. We feel it extremely honored that these new courts are going to be inaugurated by our own Honorable the Chief Justice in the presence of Honorable Administrative Judges and other companion judges of this Honorable High Court. We welcome you, sir. We welcome Honorable Mr. Justice S. Talpatra, Honorable Dr. Justice B. R. Sadangi, Honorable Mr. Justice D. Das, Honorable Mr. Justice B. Rath, Honorable Mr. Justice S. K. Sahu, Honorable Mr. Justice K. R. Mahapatra, Honorable Justice Savitri Ratho, Honorable Mr. Justice M. S. Sahu, Honorable Mr. Justice M. S. Raman, Honorable Mr. Justice S. K. Misra, Honorable Mr. Justice D. S. Satpathy, and Honorable Mr. Justice Chittaranjan Das, judges of this High Court of Orissa, for their kind presence. I may also mention that the gracious presence of our honorable judges on all these occasions encourages us to march ahead, and their support and guidance means a lot to us, sir. We welcome you, sir. I welcome my brother officers in the registry, the learned district judges, and other judicial officers who are present in this momentous occasion. I also welcome other judicial officers who have joined us through our YouTube channel. I welcome the learned presidents and secretaries of the respective bar association, government officials who have joined us today in this inaugural program. My lord, may I request Honorable the Chief Justice, Dr. S. Muralidhar, to kindly inaugurate the above 13 numbers of new courts. Thank you, my lord. Now I request Sri Akhil Kumar Paschimghabat, the Registrar Administration in charge, High Court of Orissa, to kindly read out the extract of the notifications of the 13 numbers of new courts in the cadre of Senior Civil Judge.
Namaskar. Government of Odisha Law Department, notification numbers 8534 dated 19th August 2015, 9677 dated 2nd September 2022, 9667 dated 2nd September 2022, 10534 dated 21st September 2022, 8850 dated 5th August 2022, 5013 dated 30th May 2016, 2046 dated 20th January 2023, and 13697 dated 17th December 2018. In exercise of the powers conferred by subsection 1 of section 9, read with section 10 of Odisha Civil Courts Act 1984, Odisha Act 18 of 1984, and in consultation with the High Court of Odisha, the state government do hereby establish a court of additional civil judge, senior division at Puri, in the Joseph of Puri, having its place of sitting at Puri, a court of civil judge, senior division at Kantamal, in the Joseph of Bodh, having its place of sitting at Kantamal, a court of civil judge, senior division at Purushothampur, in the Joseph of Ganjam, having its place of sitting at Purushothampur, a court of civil judge, senior division at Jaipatna, in the Joseph of Kalahandi, having its place of sitting at Jaipatna, a court of civil judge, senior division at G. Udagiri, in the Joseph of Kandhamal, having its place of sitting at G. Udagiri, a court of civil judge, senior division Women's Court at Bodh, in the Joseph of Bodh, having its place of sitting at Bodh, a court of civil judge, senior division Women's Court at Angul, in the Judgeship of Ongul, having its place of sitting at Ongul. A Court of Civil Judge Senior Division, Women's Court at Jharsuguda, in the Judgeship of Jharsuguda, having its place of sitting at Jharsuguda. A Court of Civil Judge Senior Division, Women's Court at Sundargarh, in the Judgeship of Sundargarh, having its place of sitting at Sundargarh. A Court of Civil Judge Senior Division, Women's Court at Malkangiri, in the Judgeship of Malkangiri, having its place of sitting at Malkangiri. A Court of Civil Judge Senior Division, Women's Court at Navrangpur, in the Judgeship of Navrangpur, having its place of sitting at Navrangpur. A Court of Senior Civil Judge LR and LTB at Balesore, in the Judgeship of Balesore, having its place of sitting at Balesore. And a Court of Senior Civil Judge LR LTB at Bargod, in the Judgeship of Bargod, having its place of sitting at Bargod. In addition to the existing number of such courts in those judgeships, with effect from the date the said courts function, with the local limit of the jurisdiction as specified in the above notifications, by order of the Governor, Principal Secretary to the Government. Namaskar.
The officers are kindly requested to adorn the dais.
Thank you, Akhil. May I now request Satya Prakash Rai Chaudhary, a CPC of this Honorable Court, to please make the video presentation of the newly opened 13 numbers of courts in the cadre of Senior Civil Judge. Satya, please. Thank you, Satya, for such a nice presentation of 13 courts. Honorable Chief Justice Vishwanath Rath, Judge High Court of Orissa and the Administrative Judge of Kalahandi, Judge has travelled 48 kilometers from Cuttack to reach out the people at Jaipatna for this inaugural function. We thank you, sir. I humbly request His Lordship to kindly deliver his address.
And a very good morning to all. Respected Honorable Chief Justice Dr. S. Muralidhar, Honorable Justice S. Talpatram, Honorable Justice Dr. B.R. Sarangi, and my esteemed Honorable sister and brother judges present in the, of course, Brother Justice Devadas, who is also virtually present in Purushottam destination. Registry of Mind High Court, led by Sri Patram, DC Judges of Baleshwar, Bargarh, Jharsuguda, Baud, Malkangiri, Nabarangpur, Sundargarh, Angul, Kandmar, Kalahandi, Ganjam, and Puri. All judicial officers present in all these locations, Bar Association members, executive, and the other dignitaries present in all these destinations, the members of the press and print media. Indeed, a joyous movement for judiciary, advocates, litigants, ultimately the last section of people of Odisha at large. Today we are going to open two courts, senior civil judge, LR and LTV at Baleshwar Baragarh. 13. It is taking the presence of the court from 13 to 15. 6 courts of senior civil judge, from assistant judge, session judge, women court. So at Jharsuguda, Baud, Malkangiri, Nabarangpur, Sundargarh, and Angul, and taking this position of the court 11 to 17. 4 courts of senior civil judge, from assistant session judge at Udagiri, Kandmal district, Jaipatna in Kalahandi district, Kantamal in Baud district, and Purushottapur in Ganjam district, making the court from 82 to 86. And one of the court of second additional senior civil judge at Puri, taking this court position to from 21 to 22. We congratulations to the members of the Bar Association, all these 13 destinations benefited by the new court setup at their respective places in the today's meeting. As we all know, for shortage of courts, there were reasons for delayed disposal of the nature of the cases in these destinations. But with the establishment of 13 courts today, we have not only achieved a greater mileage in the Odisha judiciary, but I will say here that there will be definite expectation of the litigants at all these destinations for time disposal of their cases. In the present context, the role of the lawyers and more particularly the judges engaged for the purpose becomes significant. I hope all stakeholders to come forward to work together to achieve the ultimate aim in establishing the such large number of courts and finding end result in the pending litigations for all these destinations. There is transfer of cases dependent on nature of the courts open today. There may be some conveniences to the lawyers already engaged, and the lawyers like to be engaged in the new destinations. I will request both these set of lawyers will cooperate each other to facilitate ultimate disposal of litigations and sorting out any shortcomings at their end within short possible time. While congratulating the lawyers at different destinations, the litigants, I also congratulated all the new appointee judges in the 13 courts today inaugurated. Newly set of courts might face some inconveniences, so the respective DC judges are requested to oversee the practical difficulties, if any, at these destinations, and will surely ensure that there is removal of all these inconveniences within short time. It's a great endeavor. In every such event, there is ultimately a great hero. He is none else than our Chief Justice, Dr. S. Muralidhar. We thank our Chief Justice, Honorable Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, for his gigantic and momentous achievement in giving such large number of courts to large number of litigants almost in remote areas. In fact, I am sitting in a court which is almost about 450 kilometers from Qatar. So people are thankful to you, your lordship. They are at least getting the justice at their doorstep now. And in fact, this has fulfilled the dream of the great leaders of our nation, making this the judiciary at doorsteps. Every day we find a mileage. Entire judiciary is indebted to your lordship, sir, and we hope in the coming days there will be some more additions. Finally, I'd say a few words to the advocates in the locality and the newly appointed judicial officers in these destinations. Don't take rest after your first victory, because if you fail in second, more leaves are waiting to say that your first victory was just a loss. As you all know, the beginning is the most important part of work. No matter what is the environment around you, it is always possible to maintain brand of integrity. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship, for such warm words of encouragement. May I now request Honorable Sri Justice Debabrata Das, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Administrative Judge of Ganjam District, who has also taken much pain to reach at Purushothampur to grace this occasion, to kindly grace the August gathering. Sir.
Namaskar to all. A very good morning. Honorable the Chief Justice, Dr. Justice S. Murlidhar, my brother and sister judges of our High Court, learned members of the registry headed by Mr. Patra, Registrar General, learned DC judges and all judicial officers who have joined us virtually, learned advocates and of all the stations where the new courts are going to be inaugurated, and also the places where from they have virtually joined. Today's event adds another page in the Odisha judicial achievement in the year 2023 under the able leadership and guidance of our Honorable Chief Justice Dr. S. Murlidhar. These 13 courts have been inaugurated on the eve of the summer vacation, and we are having 13 new courts in different stations of this state, which will be functioning from today onwards. I feel privileged to be associated in this grand occasion with the, as Honorable Chief Justice has desired for the same, and for in this opening function, I have few words to express gratitude to my Honorable Chief Justice to have given me this opportunity. While congratulating all on this grand occasion, I urge upon the learned advocates, especially the young advocates of all the places, to take a vow today to fully upgrade and enhance their skill and knowledge in law, and harm the same for coming to the aid of administration of justice throughout the state of Odisha. I also have the words of advice to all the newly joined presiding officers in all these 13 courts, that they will be definitely facing a lot of problems at the initial stage, but they shall have to face the challenge for the future, so that the posterity to come will not be blaming them that the foundation have not been laid for these courts in a solid manner. Such a great duty has been cast upon them for these newly joint presiding officers who are to man the court from today onwards. I will also urge upon the learned district judges of these districts where the new courts are being opened to ably guide those presiding officers and see that at the initial phase of the starting of the court, functioning of the courts, no such problems which come on the way of should come on the way of administration of justice. With all these words, I will also congratulate the local people of these areas where the new courts have been opened, that a long and pending dream of theirs has been fulfilled by the order of the government with their full cooperation, and as proposed by the full court under the able leadership of Honorable the Chief Justice, Dr. Justice S. Murlidhar. Here is a place, sir, in Purushothampur. The first court was inaugurated in the year 1992, and today, after such a long period, they are getting the second court, and they are definitely today rejoicing for having this court of senior civil judge in this place like Purushottampur, which has in the meantime become a notified area council. I congratulate all the people who are coming within the jurisdiction of this court so that they will be now getting the justice at their doorstep, having the senior civil judge court as well as the assistant session judge court within for their cases to come from other courts being transferred to this place. Again, I thank all of you, and I also express my gratitude to the Honorable Chief Justice to have given me this opportunity. Thanking you all. All the best. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you, Your Lordship, for such an enlightening speech. Honorable Dr. Justice B.R. Sadangi, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Administrative Judge of Puri Justice, constantly guides us in our progression. May I request Your Lordship to kindly deliver your speech.
Honorable Dr. Justice A.S. Gulidhar, the Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, my brother judges and brother and sister judges, those are present here physically and also virtually. All the district judges, those are watching the proceeding in the virtual mode, and all the presiding officers watching the proceeding in the virtual mode, and also all judicial officers and advocates present in the virtual mode. Really, today is a day of rejoicing because at a time we can have 13 courts in 13 places to cater the needs of the litigant public. The background is that these courts have although been directed to open in 2016 onwards, but it has not been opened because when my Lord Chief Justice joined, though he has inaugurated many of the courts, but subsequently realized that there is some infrastructural deficiencies. Therefore, he wanted that everywhere the infrastructural deficiencies should be cured, thereafter the court will open. And this is the result which now we are getting, that now all the courts are well equipped here, which have been opened today. It is because of the magnificent vision given by my Honorable Chief Justice Dr. S. Gulidhar. And all the good wishes or best wishes or whatever you call it, all sort of the words to him, because he is the visionary person who was with us working and giving guidance to us. And today all these 13 courts have been opened in a place that is the most remote places of the state, and in different courts, that is civil judge, senior division, women's court, and other courts have also been opened to cater the needs of the litigant public. I believe that definitely will help in the dispensable justice. And the district judges and the presiding judges, they owe a great responsibility that the justice should be delivered at the doorstep for requirement of the litigant public. And they are to toil hard for the purpose, because we survive on the faith of the public itself. If the faith will not be there, then we will not there. Thereby, the responsibility which is carried out by you has to be discharged in proper manner, so that at least the people will say that because of the judiciary we have survived. And today I feel very happy that it is the Chief Justice who has taken all the responsibility on his own shoulder and shifting on us, saying that you see that in all the places the courts will come up, and that is why we are all here. And I must give congratulations to my Chief Justice that because of his vision, we have become successful today. And I have no words to say that by that time, from the date of joining till date, he has already crossed 100 courts to open in Odisha. This is a great achievement for the judiciary system. And this is a great achievement on our part also, that he is looking at the delivery of justice to the needy people, to the poorest people in the state, and he realized himself that he is part of Odisha, and he became a citizen of Odisha, and he is a man of Odisha, and he is thinking himself within that I am the man of Odisha, that I must do something for the state of Odisha. That is no less a person can visualize the same thing. I understand, sir. Your presence here also encourages us to do something more in future. With great respect and with due humility, I said that your presence has encouraged like anything. And in the future also, we'll say that, yes, whatever development has taken place during your period as a Chief Justice of this court, Odisha will never forget those things. Thank you, Lord. My Lord, give me this opportunity to say something in this auspicious occasion.
Thank you, my Lord, for such encouraging words. The thought-provoking speeches of Honorable Sri Justice Subhasis Talpatra, Judge High Court of Orissa, has always given us new energy to march ahead for the greater interest of the institution. May I request your Lordship to kindly present his address.
Good morning to all. The Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. S. Muralidhar, my sister and brother judges, here and over virtual mode, the district judges, judicial officers who are on the virtual mode participating in this program, the other officers from the administration, the lawyers in particular, we welcome in this program. It is another milestone, as Justice Sarangi says, in the annals of the judicial history of Odisha. The relentless efforts of our Chief Justice has made all these things possible, which was much needed for a proper functioning of a dynamic democracy. The basic commitment that the Indian Constitution has made to its people is that the access to justice to be elevated to the level of the fundamental right. And through the development of law, this has been pronounced. Access to justice is a word we have in different spectrum and different spheres. But when it is a question of the delivery of justice, it becomes really an uphill task because we do not have, in most of the cases, the proper infrastructure to expand the judicial system to the margin. Because where the most impoverished, marginalized, socially disadvantaged people live, for them access to justice till now is a dream. But we are taking strides to reach them. That is the significance of this program, because they can at least feel they are the state which is not acceptably alienated us completely. They're still trying to bring the justice to us. Access to justice is a very, very tough idea in a democracy, but without it, democracy cannot function and democracy cannot achieve for which it is thought of. In 12 districts, we have now the 13 courts have been inaugurated. Our young Odisha judiciary is very young, I must tell it. They should think every day to innovate how this infrastructure of the court system can be utilized for the best way to serve the people of Odisha. We do not only serve the litigant people. Don't live in this idea. Because a justice done anywhere, it is justice done for the entire society. Because the failure to give the justice is a failure of the state, failure of the society to make the commitment of justice to people. And when there is a deprivation in providing justice, that may create the social turmoil. You do not know from which point it will come out and just destroy the entire social fabric of peace and tranquility. So therefore, we are shouldering a huge responsibility, not only just writing judgment, we are making in a way the social engineering, that the society must live in a shape where everybody's respect, everybody's dignity, everybody's right is protected. We decide this or that way so that everybody fulfill that whatever right I expected to be declared by the courts have been declared. Sometimes they are not satisfied. They go to the superior courts. This is the system how it works. I have seen Justice Muralidhar working day and night, and it's the gap that was existing. The requirement of the courts, considering to the number of cases, considering the number of prospective cases which have not come to the court. He is relentlessly working with the government, and government, according to him, he told us that was very cooperative in this mission. And now we find within a span of 2 years, new 100 courts have been added to the Odisha judiciary. It may not be this is a final step, but it is a big stride towards the goal that we are looking at. I hope that all will work sincerely, because one thing I always think, one day in the judicial life is so important. If you live that one day meaningfully, you have lived your life for the entire life, because every one day means a lot for the people who are waiting in your court, outside your court, to have the justice. Thank you all. Take the advantage of the new expansion. and make the distributive justice, show the people it is so effective. They can come, they can reach, and courts are not very far away from their place of residence. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, a visionary who always prepared the roadmap to see that our High Court reaches to a greater height and always thinks for common and marginalized people. Now, I have the proud privilege to request His Lordship to deliver inaugural address. Sir, please.
Pranam, Vande Utkala Janani. A lovely morning after a severe storm last night. We have a bright sun shining, and it's a very, very happy moment, not just for all of us here in Cuttack, but for the people of Odisha in 12 districts spread geographically north, west, south, and east. We have the courts in the districts of Sundargarh, Jharsuguda, Bargarh. We have courts in Malkangiri, Nabrangpur, Kalahandi. We have courts in Purushottampur, in Ganjam, Kandamal, 2 courts in Baud. In the east, we have a court in Puri. In central Orissa, we have a court in Anugul. And in north, we have a court in Baleshwar district. It has been a project in the making, this expansion of the judicial network of courts in Odisha. It will continue to be a work in progress. As Justice Talapatra was pointing out, we've had support from the state government right from the beginning. They've been prompt in issuing notifications, creating the courts. And as Justice Sarangi was pointing out, there is some delay in opening some of these courts because we were not ready with the infrastructure, for which, again, we are dependent on a variety of factors, including support of the state government. As was pointed out by him, these courts are now fully equipped to take on all the challenges that they are likely to face in running of the courts. But because of technology, much of the working of our courts has been made so easy. The fact that technology is helping us in a great deal is not only evident from the participation in 12 districts across Odisha of so many people simultaneously, with 2 of our senior colleagues, Justice Devabrata Das in Purushottampur, Justice Vishwanath Ratha in Jayapatna, being able to address all of us from the respective locations. The participation of all the judicial officers, simultaneously with the participation of all my colleagues here sitting in Odisha, the participation of all the lawyers in all these districts, the participation of the local administration, including the collectors, the superintendents of police, and the staff. This has been one feature, the use of technology for inaugurations that we've been adopting in the last 2 years. Of course, which got even more perfected, I must say, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when we continued opening courts, irrespective of shutdowns or lockdowns because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I accept with humility all the nice things said about me by all my senior colleagues, but the fact of the matter is, all of this could not have been possible but for their complete dedication and participation. Each of them, as an administrative judge of a district in Odisha, has contributed immensely to the development of the judiciary in those districts, either by constantly counseling the judicial officers, visiting the courts, giving advice on what should be done, dealing with ticklish problems, dealing with issues of the bar. Each of my colleagues has shown complete commitment and dedication and devotion to the task of reaching justice to the people of Odisha. I must also acknowledge the enormous contribution by the judicial officers in the districts, beginning with the district judges, including those 12 districts where the district judges have been working tirelessly along with their teams to make sure that the inauguration of these courts happens in good time. And then we have been very fortunate in this High Court to have a registry led by a Registrar General and a team of registrars, assistant registrars, and all others, again working relentlessly. It is literally a 24/7 registry here in the High Court. And because this is a 24/7 registry, the officers in the various districts are literally working 24/7 with their staff. So if somebody asks me, and many of them ask me, what is so special about Odisha that we are able to do so much? I say it's because it's never a one-man show or a few persons at the helm. It is literally a teamwork here at the High Court, a teamwork in the districts, and a collective shouldering of responsibility that is making sure that we translate the vision of access to justice into reality. Today is a very happy day for more than one reason for me. Of the 13 courts that we are opening today, there are as many as 7 courts that are going to be presided over by women judicial officers. This is another feature of the Odisha judiciary, where the participation of women in the judiciary has been progressively increasing over the years. And very soon we may find that the women judicial officers constitute well over 70% of the judicial workforce, which is a very good sign for the Odisha judiciary and a very good sign for the country as a whole. I know that the participation of women in the bar among the lawyers has not kept pace with the increase of participation of women in the judicial workforce, but that too eventually should happen and will happen. And all these women judicial officers will be the inspiration for other women to come into the bar to litigate and to also join the judicial workforce. Among the 13 courts that we've opened today, 4 are single station courts. And these are the courts at Kantamal, Purushothampur, Jayapatna, and G. Udayagiri. The challenge that these judicial officers will face in these single stations is, of course, different from the challenges that judicial officers face elsewhere. But every challenge is also an opportunity. As my senior colleagues have been pointing out, we are confident that these judicial officers will utilize this opportunity, a wonderful opportunity of making sure that justice is delivered in these courts 24/7. And as my colleague Justice Talapatra was pointing out, not just about deciding the cases in the courts, but becoming relevant to the people of that area, being sensitive to their needs, understanding that this is a public place and this is a place where they first come into contact with the judiciary, and what image, what impression, what experience they have in these courts will determine their confidence in the judicial system. Ultimately, we are all working to ensure that we live up to the promise in the Constitution of delivering fair and equal justice to the people. When they come into these courts, if they face discrimination, if they face inequality, if they face trauma, if they face disappointment or frustration, they will go away feeling that the system is not working for them. But in Orissa, we want to make it a different experience. And this is why we're training all these judicial officers in our judicial academy, and now in also the regional judicial academies that we've recently opened. We want the judicial officers to increasingly be sensitive to this need, this expectation that the people of Odisha have of the judiciary. I'm sure they will not be found wanting in this very important responsibility that is now resting on their shoulders. The district administration, the police in every one of these areas, and in particular, as was pointed out both by Justice Vishwanath Ratha and Justice Devabrata Das, the bar in these 2 areas, in these 13 courts, have a very important role to play in supporting this court and making sure it is able to function independently, fearlessly, and continuously to deliver justice to the people. Technology is making big strides, and we in the judiciary are trying to make full use of those technological advances to improve our functioning in the judiciary. In the near future, we will have many of these courts actually functioning in paperless mode. It will be a way for even the bar in these 13 courts to understand in what ways technology can ease the functioning of the courts and of the lawyers themselves, and ultimately deliver more efficient and effective justice to the people of Odisha. I must compliment, apart from my registry officials, the district judges, the judicial officers, and the staff in the High Court and the districts, our team, the technology team headed by the Central Project Coordinator, Shri Satyaprakash Roy Chaudhary, for actually organizing this whole event. It's a very, very big achievement that in 13 different locations, we're able to participate simultaneously without a glitch. And I must compliment the CPC and his entire team for this. And I think we all should give them a big hand for making this possible. Finally, it is my dream that we become among the best in the country as a judiciary. And with the help of all of you and the cooperation of everyone in today's function, I'm sure we are on that path and we will probably achieve it in the very near future. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in today's function. It's been a very, very happy moment for all of us here in the High Court. I'm sure we will all march hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, to even a brighter future for the entire judiciary in Odisha. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Lordship. We assure you, sir, we will keep your visions alive. Now may I call upon Suman Kumar Misra, the Registrar Judicial, High Court of Orissa, to present vote of thanks to our dignitaries and to seek permission to close the function. Suman.
Namaskar. Honorable Chief Justice, esteemed Honorable Judges, respected District Judges and Judicial Officers, learned Presidents, Secretaries and Office Bearers of the Bar Associations and the District Administration Officials. We congratulate the people of Baleshwar, Bargarh, Jharsuguda, Baud, Malkangiri, Nabarangpur, Sundargarh, Angul, G. Udaygiri, Joypatna, Kontamat, Purushottampur and Puri for getting the new courts. In the last 2 years, as has been pointed out by the Honorable Judges, more than 100 courts have been opened in a move to ensure access to justice. We are immensely grateful to Honorable Chief Justice Dr. S. Muralidhar for engineering the transformation of Odisha judiciary and leading it to be a role model in the country. Under the leadership of His Lordship, Odisha judiciary has achieved new milestones with adaptation of technology. His Lordship has traveled the length and breadth of the diverse state and understood its problems probably better than us within a short span of 2.5 years. There is hardly any problem that has not been redressed by Honorable Chief Justice. We are grateful, Lordship. We are thankful to Honorable Justice Subhasis Talapatra and Honorable Dr. Justice Vidyut Ranjan Solanki, Administrative Judge for Puri, for being physically present with us and inspiring us by their address. Honorable Justice Debabrata Das, Administrative Judge for Ganjam, has joined us from Purushottampur, and Honorable Justice Vishwanath Rath, Administrative Judge for Kolahandi, has joined from Joypatna. We are immensely grateful to their Lordships for sparing their valuable time and taking such pain to travel long distance for this auspicious occasion. Their Lordships have inspired us by their valuable words. We express gratitude to Honorable Justice Sangam Kumar Sahu, Honorable Justice K.R. Mahapatra, Honorable Justice Savitri Ratha, Honorable Justice Moganko Shekhar Sahu, Honorable Justice Radhakrishna Patnaik, Honorable Justice M.S. Raman, Honorable Justice S.K. Misra, Honorable Justice Gaurishankar Satpathy, and Honorable Justice Chittaranjan Das for attending today's function. Their Lordship's kind presence has encouraged us and made this event special. We express gratitude to the Honorable Judges who could not be present today due to their personal inconvenience, but their Lordships have extended their wishes for today's function. We thank the respected district judges and the judicial officers of the 12 districts for being with us through virtual mode. We thank the presidents, office bearers, and members of the 13 bar associations for attending this event. We thank the officers of the local administration of the 12 districts for their support. We are thankful to Mr. Satyaprakash Rai Chaudhary, the CPC, and his technical team for making today's function possible by their technical support. We thank the court staff and all others who have contributed for today's function. We also thank the media personnel for being our messengers and ensuring that our messages reach the general public. I now seek the permission of Honorable Chair to declare the function closed.
Yes, please.
The function is declared closed. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Sure. One more successful part.